Welcome back, everyone. It's so good to be here with you this evening. Many of you are possibly still stuck in a toxic mental and emotional attachment to the narcissistic people in your life, especially if it's family members or perhaps an ex or a particular friend. And the reason is because you're still looking for validation from them, validation that speaks to your sense of self-worth. Well, how do we stop chasing that outside validation? Together, we're going to look at an article that I found, Letting Go of the Chase and Reclaiming Your Sense of Self-Worth. Let's talk. My name is Kevin, and this is The Royal We. To begin with, let's check out this video clip that's going to help you to understand how narcissistic people gain control over your mind and keep you stuck in this place of needing their validation. Check out this video clip.
If I could sum up mind control in one sentence, it would be the ability to weaponize cognitive dissonance. And if you think about how you get involved with a narcissist in a relationship and why you stay, that's weaponizing cognitive dissonance. If I can weaponize cognitive dissonance, I can get you to do anything. Cognitive dissonance is about your identity and who you think you are as a person. And in a narcissist relationship, it's I'm a good wife, I'm a good woman, I'm a good supporter, I'm a good mom, I'm going to stay here for the kids. So it's about identity. If I could sum up
This is one of the greatest breakdowns of cognitive dissonance that I have heard. So for those of you who don't know what cognitive dissonance is, it's holding two opposing views within yourself. So for many of you, you've spent your life believing and trying to live out of this place of being a good person, a loving person, a giving person, a generous person, a beautiful person, whatever it is that you've built up within yourself, your own self-narrative, if you will. A narcissistic person will come into your life and will see these things about you. They will see that you are a good person and you believe you're a good person. They'll see that you are a beautiful person and you believe that you're a beautiful person. And so guess what they're going to do? They're going to challenge that. They're going to attack that. They're going to weaponize that. How are they going to do it? Well, they're going to tell you that you're selfish, that you're judgmental. They're going to tell you that you're not beautiful, you're overweight, you're ugly, your hair looks bad. And what this does internally is it starts to hold two opposing views. I thought I was giving, I thought I was loving, but in this relationship, I'm being told that I'm selfish. I've always thought that I was beautiful. I take pride in my appearance, but in this relationship, I'm being told that I'm overweight and nothing looks good. And it's doubly intensified and painful because you're in a relationship with somebody you thought cared about you. You see, what's really taking place is you're dealing with a skilled manipulator. A narcissistic family member or a lover or a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a husband or a wife or a friend who has learned the art of weaponizing cognitive dissonance, getting you to hold these two opposing views, which is a great segue to get into this article that we're going to read. Because what narcissistic people do is trap you in this place of needing their validation. If they can create cognitive dissonance in you, they gain control over your mind. Now, if you're dealing with narcissistic people and they have control over your mind right now, whether it's family members, a husband, a wife, a friend, a lover, and you need help breaking this trauma bond that you believe you're in, let me remind you that I am here to support you. Down in the description box, right below this video, you'll find access for one-on-one appointments with me. I do take telephone calls and video calls through Zoom, FaceTime, and WhatsApp. Also, the Royal We does have a private membership available for you where you can get daily live support from me with a growing community of people from all over the world. Not only is there daily live support, but we have weekly fellowship, a workout program for you, and so much more all in the privacy of a members-only app. You can download the Royal We app down below in the description box. And lastly, the Royal We does have merchandise available for you. You can show your support for the Royal We by picking up a t-shirt, a hat, a coffee mug, a sweatshirt. And if you post a photograph of you and the Royal We merch on your Instagram and tag me at Join the Royal We on Instagram, I will give you a free 1-hour appointment. So head on down to the description box. If you're having a hard time finding the description box, it's right where the little dots are underneath this video that says more. Right there underneath all the YouTube ads. YouTube likes to hide the description box these days with all their ads, but you can find the description box right there. Now, let's get into this article. letting go of the chase and reclaiming your sense of self-worth, according to Psychology Today. Here's the key points that we're going to talk about in this article. Number one, society teaches us to seek worth externally. This is absolutely true, and I can't wait to touch on this with you because this is a big part of the pain that narcissistic abuse presents into your life. Society tells us that self-worth has to be earned, won, or it has to be proved. You have to prove your self-worth. Not true. All right. Key point number two, regardless of success, failure, or external opinions, you are enough simply because you exist. Yes, this is absolutely true. Despite what all the opinions are of people, you being here right at this moment watching this video, you're a miracle. You exist for a reason. You are here. You're breathing. You're alive. And this video hopefully will help to encourage you to get up, to fulfill your purpose. And then key point number three here is building a strong relationship with yourself creates a foundation for a more fulfilling life, a life of purpose that doesn't require the outside validation, which, by the way, opens the door for narcissistic people to inject cognitive dissonance into your life so that they can try to control your mind, because that's the name of narcissist game. It's all about mind control. It doesn't matter if you're dealing with narcissistic family members, a husband, a wife, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or somebody who calls you their best friend. Understand that the relationship is not a relationship of love. They're trying to control you. Whether or not they're doing it on purpose, well, that's a video for a different time. But all we do know is that they're using cognitive dissonance. They're weaponizing the things that are so good about you, that you believe are good about you. They're challenging these things. They're attacking these things to get you into a place of cognitive dissonance, holding two views of yourself. Why? So that they can control your mind. You become their slave. Not anymore. We're about to break it right now. Let's get to the beginning of this article right here. One of the ways to reclaim your sense of self-worth and no longer need outside validation is to reflect on what you feel determines your worthiness to begin with. What do you feel determines your worthiness? This gets into the territory of key point number one. Society has taught us all that our worthiness, our value, has to be earned. We have to prove it. We have to win it in order to have any value in this life. Whether you're narcissistic or you're an empath, it doesn't matter. We all have been given the same load of shit in society. And by the way, this creates what is called your ego. So real quick, I'm not an expert on the ego. You can go read Freud's books for that. But what I will say, I've discovered about my own personal ego and through my years of coaching, the ego in its simplest form is your understanding of the world around you, but more importantly, your understanding of yourself in the world and how you relate to the world and how the world perceives you and how you perceive the world. This is your first ego. And I say first because we have more than one in this life. The first ego is typically what gets broken by narcissistic abuse. And I'll tell you how in just a moment. But let's first talk about what forms your first ego, because it's not you. You do not form your first ego. Your first ego is basically pushed onto you. It's forced fed to you. It's given to you. It's given to you by your parents and how they tell you to act and how they tell you to behave and how they tell you to dress and how they tell you to think and what they tell you to eat. It's given to you by public institutionalized education, where they tell you what to learn, what's important, how to act, how to behave, how to do your work, how to handle bullies, dare, keep kids off drugs, all that stuff, okay? It's formed by Western world Christianity. Once again, how do you act? How do you behave? How do you dress? How do you love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you? How do you turn the other cheek all the time? All of this stuff is given to you from the time you're an infant and you're growing up, right? All these things are force-fed to you, and this becomes your ego. Now you can understand why your first ego isn't even yours. Your ego is based on a roadmap that's been given to you. So guess what? In order to maintain and live according to this roadmap, you need outside validation. After all, you're not living out of an authentic place. You're living out of a place of what the whole world and all the teachers that you've had and your parents and the church, you've lived out of a place of what they've been telling you. So you're looking to them throughout your life. So long as you're living according to this ego, you're living for the validation of them. They have to reinforce all these things because, after all, they taught you it. So imagine you're constantly walking saying, am I doing good? Am I doing good enough? Is this dress okay? Do I look all right? Am I behaving okay? Am I treating that person okay? Am I praying all right? Is this how I pray? Is it right? You're doing this because you're trying to live according to the roadmap that you've been given. This is your first ego. As you can tell, this ego is not even yours. So what narcissistic people do when they come in and they try to gain control over your mind is they challenge the things that you believe about yourself. You believe you're a good person. You believe you're a good Christian. You believe you're beautiful, right? And again, you've been living trying to be beautiful, trying to be a good person, trying to be a good Christian according to what everybody's told you, okay? Narcissist comes in and says, are you really that? Because I think you're overweight, which, by the way, isn't love, all right? But we'll get to that in just a moment. But suddenly it starts to give you this cognitive dissonance. Wait, I've been told that if I dress this way, I am beautiful. I've been told that if I act this way, that I am generous. But now you're telling me I'm selfish. You're telling me I'm ugly. You're telling me all these things. That doesn't make sense. And I don't understand because I've done everything according to the roadmap that society has given me. And boom. Now you're faced with a huge dilemma, right? This is what cognitive dissonance is. And if you're not careful, you'll become the narcissist slave because you will start to chase the validation of that person who's challenging your beliefs. And what this looks like is you trying to prove to the narcissistic person that you are good, you are generous, you are beautiful. Why? Because you desperately need for the outside external validation to tell you that you're following the roadmap like a good little person. You're doing it right. Okay? This can go on for a long time until you allow that first ego to fall, which, by the way, is not pretty. When your first ego collapses, when it crashes, it's not pretty because basically it's letting go of everything the world has told you was true about you, about them. It's letting it crash. It's letting it be destroyed. It's letting it be killed. And it can spin you out into all kinds of issues, conspiracy theories, right? You're going to wonder whether or not the earth is a spinning ball or if it's flat. If the medical industry is really trying to help you, if they're trying to kill you. If the food industry is really trying to nourish you or if it's trying to kill you. You're going to explore every single possible rabbit hole conspiracy because nothing's going to make sense once you let that first ego crash. But I promise you're going to get to this point where you realize, the reason it doesn't make sense to me is because it was never my ego to begin with. It was given to me. I've been living my life according to what people have been telling me. Now, this is where you get to build your second ego. It's painful, but it's a start over. It's a fresh start. You can call it being born again, so to speak. But the second ego is no longer based on what other people have told you. It's not based on what public institutionalized education says, what your parents say, or what your preachers and ministers and the pastors say. No. Your second ego starts to be built based on your experiences, your knowledge, what you've observed about the world, your interactions with people, your ability to now look in the mirror and say, who am I? And now this is an important question because now you can start to develop your sense of, well, how generous do you really want to be? Not because other people are telling you or validating it, but because it feels safe and comfortable for you. How loving do you want to be? Not because other people are telling you what love is, but because you have this much love to give and it makes sense to you and it feels safe and it's at peace with you, right? What do you want to dress? How do you want to appear to people? Not based on what others tell you looks good, but what feels comfortable to you. This is your second ego. And this is where we're going to get into this article, this topic, reflect on what determines your worthiness. It says here, based on your lived experience, there may be certain areas on which you base your sense of self-worth. Has it been tied to external achievements or external validation, appearance, or the approval of others? Acknowledge when you are seeking external validation and ask yourself why it matters to you. Why does it matter what this X says you look like? Why does it matter if those people tell you that you're selfish? Why does it matter? Okay. It says this, get curious about your patterns, and remember that things outside of you don't determine your worth or internal value. Don't give them more power than they deserve. As you're building your second ego, which no longer depends on what other people have told you to be, now you get to really question, what does it even matter? Listen, I'm not sitting here giving you this message right now because I need the validation of others. Because there might be people watching this video going, oh man, I want this guy going on about blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I'm not looking for their validation. I'm giving out of what I know I can give. And that's all I care about. And if there's one person that resonates with this video, fantastic. If there's 100 that don't, that's fine too. I don't care, right? This is what it starts to look like when you are defining your own worth and speaking from your own value, dressing according to your own value. It doesn't matter what the others say. The sooner you get to this, the sooner you're entering into your second ego, which means that your second ego is built completely from the ground up by you. It's not given to you by anybody else. It's actually yours. All right. Moving on to number two. Number two is we need to repair the inner dialogue. Repair the inner dialogue. This will definitely stop you from chasing validation from the outside, and you'll start to look within. It says this, challenge the inner critic that tells you you're not enough, that puts a spotlight on your failures and mistakes, and pushes you to think the worst about yourself. By the way, this is more likely to happen, this bad, negative self-talk, if you will. This happens when you are still in need of validation because you're not operating out of authenticity. Anytime you live a life of inauthenticity, you're always going to be having a negative dialogue unless other people are telling you that you're doing good. Have you ever noticed that you feel great when you're around people telling you you're beautiful? You feel great when you have others in your life saying, you're doing good, good job. You feel fantastic, right? Because you need those voices to combat your inner dialogue. Your inner dialogue is screaming, this isn't even really me. Oftentimes, this is what causes you to, through your first ego, again, depending on how much you've bought into that roadmap that you've been given. Many of you are in relationships that you really shouldn't be in, that you truly didn't even want to pick. You're in careers that you really don't want to do. This is how far off you've been from who you truly are. And in order to stay in this lane, you need outside validation. You've had people cheer you on, which has kept you on this path when it's not even who you truly are. And so, of course, your inner dialogue while you're on this path is horrible unless you're getting constant praise and you're getting constant cheers and you're getting constant validation, which is needed from the outside. Repairing the inner dialogue comes with you being able to recognize that you've been living your life according to what everybody else has been saying. You need to start to fix your inner dialogue. It says this, maybe it sounds like I'm not good enough. Okay, yeah, so we do say these things all the time. And really, it's because your insides are screaming, you're not in the right relationship. You're not in the right career. You're not doing the things that you truly want to do. You're doing the things that you've been told you have to do. And so you're asking yourself, am I good enough? Listen, when you are doing something that internally you know is based on your values, you won't ever question whether or not you're doing good enough. I'm not questioning right now in this moment if I'm doing a good enough job. I'm just operating out of who and what I have to offer. That's it. It's amazing. But when I did work at many jobs that I've had in the past, It's constantly. Am I doing good? Is this okay? Is this how it's supposed to be done? Is this good? Is it? Constantly needing outside validation. Why? Because I didn't belong there. It's not my passion. But that being said, yes, we do have to do things even we don't want to in order to make a living. So there is that. Don't go quitting your jobs right now and say, Kevin on the Royal We said to quit my job and follow my passion. No, but at the very least, start to build your passion. Start to step into who you truly are, right? Here's what it says. It says, look for evidence to dissolve the belief from the feeling. Practice reinforcing a new narrative that is more helpful and supportive. Instead of I'm not good enough, shift into I am enough as I am. And I am always growing. Your inner voice matters. Make it a kind one. Yes, we do need to have positive and kind self-talk. Even if we're in a place or in a relationship or a job or a career that we don't like, we need to be able to have the self-talk. I'm going to get my way out of this. I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to make this dream come alive. I'm going to take this trip, right? We need to have that self-talk. Number 3, know who you are and who you are not. This is very important. This is an excellent way to stop chasing validation. Oftentimes, which is crazy to me, we are in relationships with people we have no business being with. Look, narcissistic abuse is the consequence of being with people you have no business being with, doing things you have no business doing, going places you have no business going. Again, all of this is centered on a roadmap that we've been given on how to be loving, how to be kind, how to not be judgmental, how to, be kind and good and love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you and all this bullshit, which has nothing to do, it actually takes away from us from understanding who we are and who we are not. If you're not this type of person, don't hang out with those type of people. If you're not this type of person, don't go to those places, right? So knowledge of who we are has to come first. Having self-awareness, understanding your strengths, areas of growth, what makes you, allows you to show up authentically, reflect on the labels you have used or been given to define who you are and who you are not. Meet your reflections with compassion and let go of those that no longer serve you. You see, once you start to step into who you truly are, it's a lot easier from that place to let go of people, places, and things where you don't need to be, that don't serve you. And by the way, when we say don't serve you, it doesn't mean that they're bowing down to you and washing your feet. Not like, yes, master type serve you. When we talk about being around people and places that don't serve you, we're simply talking about whether or not you feel at peace around those people. If you don't even feel peace around them, then your mental, emotional needs aren't even being served, right? Now, in a narcissistic world, narcissists will tell you, well, you don't need to be served. Humble down. No. Again, that's part of their war so that you can serve them. But I tell you, if they're not loving you and they're not meeting some of your basic needs as a human, then get out. It doesn't serve you. Definitely don't serve them if they're not serving you, ever. All right? Moving on to number 4, prioritize your well-being. Prioritize your well-being. Absolutely. This is a way to stop seeking outside validation. It says many people struggle to take care of themselves because they do not feel worthy. Prioritize. Exercise. Prioritize eating right, not because of what others say. Do it because it feels good to you. Listen, when I started the workout program for the Royal We and really took my fitness more seriously, I had a relative. It's like, why are you doing that? Why are you working out? Why are you eating like that? Like, what are you trying to show? What are you trying to prove? What are you trying to prove? Why does it matter? And I remember I looked at him. This is a relative of mine. And I'm like, it feels good to me. I mean, what? Who cares? I don't care if you like it or not. It feels good. All right? It's like you have to be able to prioritize yourself and what's going to work for you, okay? When you truly value, love, or respect something, you treat it well. Value, love, and respect yourself so you can treat yourself well. You do not have to earn the right to look after yourself. Oh my goodness, that is solid. You don't have to earn the right to look after yourself. You don't have to earn the right to work out. You don't have to earn the right to diet. You don't have to earn the right to feel good. We become a society of people who feel as though we have to earn our right to be the best version of ourselves. When did that happen? I'll tell you when it happened. It happened when you were given a roadmap, your first ego, and you were told how to live, told how to be, told how to behave, told how to listen to everybody and be a good little person in society. No. It says this: you are already deserving and worthy of the time and effort it takes to be well. Cultivate behaviors, practices, and habits that bring you inward and allow you to meet your needs and tend to your head, your heart, your body, or your mind, your body, your spirit. Yes, it's absolutely okay to cut out the negative, cut out people, even if it's family, even if it's exes, even if it's friends. If they are not contributing to your well-being, cut them out. You don't need anybody's permission for that, just your own. Right? Number 5 is embrace dual truths. Embrace dual truths. This is interesting. Let's see what it has to say. You can be a work in progress, fair enough, and still be deserving of love and respect. You can make mistakes and still be worthy. You can be imperfect and still be enough. Two things can be true at the same time. I agree. You can be a work in progress and still worthy. You can be in this place of learning more about yourself and how to articulate yourself and how to develop your second ego, if you will. One that's based off of your observations and your truth, right? And yet you can still make mistakes along the way, and that's okay. As a matter of fact, you're going to know that you are well into your second ego, so to speak. You're well into your rebirth. You're going to know this when you are being attacked by narcissistic people and judged and criticized, and you're able to say, hey, that's okay. That's fine. I'm a work in progress. And you don't care anymore. This is how you know that you're healing. Why? Because you're not looking for their validation. Oh, okay. That's fine. You can think whatever you want. Yeah. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad, for your crappy ass words. Oh, I don't care. I'm a work in progress. And you're able to move on. All that matters is that you are getting onto the path in this life, not based on what others told you to do, not based on what others believe you ought to look like. And this, you are on the path of your life that you desire, that you feel driven to do based on what you have to offer and based on who you are. And as I said, I am here to support you on this journey. This is an incredible journey that you are on in breaking free of narcissistic abuse and regaining your sense of self-worth. You can schedule one-on-one appointments with me down below in the description box. I will be available for you. If you're brand new to the Royal We channel, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss any future Royal We content, and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any future Royal We content. I think I just said that. Well, I said it again. Everything you need to know is down in the description box. Check out one of these videos recommended by the YouTube algorithm. I'll be back with more right here on the Royal We. Bye.